right now? We're going in there and then just come back when you can.
Start.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in live to Real Talk with Martin and Gordon. We on the live set right here in A-Meet, in the heart of town at the A-Meet Community Center for a wonderful occasion. It couldn't be no better if you're a football fan, and if you're not a football fan and you just appreciate hard work and dedication, then you gotta respect that. But we're here in honor of Devonta Smith and his Heisman watch party today. The parking lot is full. I know they have a limited amount of people that can go inside the building, and the ceremony just started. So we wanted to do our live broadcast on the set, outside, and give people who won't have an opportunity to be inside an opportunity to kind of get some backstory in regards to Devonta. So we're gonna give you guys just a minute to log in live. Please tag and share to y'all pages. Let's make it go viral. And soon, in just a second, we're gonna get ready to start this show. Some of the coaches might go in and out trying to catch bits of the ceremony, but we're gonna have a wonderful show lined up for you guys. So just tune in. Please tag and share.
Hey Trey, how you hiding behind the trophy?
Alright.
Yeah, go right. Let's go. I think they're gonna tell that to 7. You ain't gonna find that out there at 7. Oh, okay, you watch it. Y'all tag and share, please. What's up, my boy? What's up, man? What's up? Hey, man, y'all will be loose, man. We at home. We at A-Meet, man. We at A-Meet, man. We real talk. You family? You his family? You probably got something you want to share. So we gonna get you in there, man. We gonna get you in there, man. Definitely gonna get you in there. Couple of seconds, we gonna go and get started. And what we'll do is, because I know nobody wants to really miss the whole ceremony, and I wish I had a TV set up out here so we can be watching it. But what they'll do, they'll come in and out. That way everybody can get a little piece of it.
I'm trying to put it on my tablet.
All right.
We're gonna try to get it on the tablet over here.
All right. Huh?
We're gonna try to get the ceremony on the tablet over here.
Oh, for real? That's what's up. That'll be wonderful. She had a link. I think she put the link on her Facebook page or something. Yeah. Hey, look, Rob. Whenever. It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Hey, Coach, we got it?
You got it? Good. That way we keep up with it. Good. I appreciate y'all, man. That's what world of technology. We're able to follow the Heisman ceremony as well, and what's going on. Actually, this is ESPN broadcast, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was shared to Christina's Facebook page, the link. So if anybody's not able to watch it, I think you can stream it. It's being streamed tonight. Awesome. All right, man. Without further ado, we're gonna go and get the show on the road, man. Warrior Pride in the building, man. Warrior Pride. To my right, man, and y'all left, we got Coach Larry Foster, man. Longtime coach at A-Mid West Side, coached around in A-Mid with most of these young players. He knows them personally, firsthand. To my left, y'all right, we got Montre Walker. Everybody know Walker Boy. Oh, yeah. What they call you, man? They call you Walker Boy. but Montre actually was the first coach for Tay-Tay, Devonta Smith. Many of y'all might know him as, the world might know him as Smitty, but we call him Tay-Tay here. So that's our name, and we want to give y'all some inside exclusive information, backstory on him, stuff that you might not know, stuff that may not be televised nationally. So man, it's just a wonderful show, man. Before we get started, I want to kind of just let these guys just introduce themselves a little bit more thorough, share anything that they want to share, and then we'll start, man. So Larry, go ahead. You got the flow, man.
My name is Larry Foster. I coached and taught for 23 years, and I had the enjoyment of coaching Devonta along with several other good players from Amite, Louisiana. And he's just one that rolls. He's some of the cream that rolls above the top.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Montre, man, let them know who he is, man. For the ones who don't know.
My name is Elijah Montre Walker. Those around dealing with football call me Walker Boy. Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Shut it down for what?
That's what I'm talking about.
I
man.
just remember the days, man. It was 6, 7, and 8 year old. We had Devonta Smith.
That's what's up.
Smallest thing on the field. Ears and hands.
Ears and hands.
We went to playing. I talked to Coach Larry about it. I said, man, we have a young kid, Christina's son. Smallest thing on the field, but with the biggest heart. It's just unbelievable. Take sweetness, I call it. Sweetness.
Way back then.
Way back then.
That's what's up.
It was unbelievable, man. We was playing a game in Angie, football game. He made a catch. Everybody's eyes was just wide open, like, did you see that? I ran up to Tay-Tay, I said, son, do you know what you just done? He said, Coach, I just caught the ball. Keep throwing it to me. Okay. Just sweet.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Man, I don't know if we really have grasped the significance of this moment. We hear, but in a way, I don't know if we still really understand what's going on, man. I know a lot of people came to the shop today and they was talking about they couldn't sleep last night. Like it was something that they was about to be a part of. So guess what? Because it is. I think a Heisman winner, even a nominee, is bigger than just that person. That's actually something for all of the people who helped along the way. Whether they mentor, coach them, it's for the community, it's for AV, it's for Tangible Parish, it's for the state of Louisiana. Because if you didn't know, Louisiana only has 2 native-born Heisman winners of all time. The Heisman started in 1935, and it's going on until now. So I think this is the 85th Heisman. Only 2 before, and that was I think John David Crow of Spring Hill won. He went to Texas A&M. He won the Heisman in 1957, and then in 1959, everybody knows Billy Cannon of LSU with the Halloween punt return, 89-yard punt return score. He won it in 89. But since then, now if you count Joe Burrow, we got to count that because it is a Louisiana, but he wasn't born in Louisiana. But we still got to count that, so that's 3 if you count it. For Devonta to even be mentioned in that press, man, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Man, when you had a chance to just see him grow, like, could you have fathomed that he would be at a point like this? And maybe you did.
Yes. It was at one time I went to his dad. I say, D, just wait on this moment. Just wait on this moment. I said, it's going to be special.
Wow.
He said, what you mean by that? I say, man, you and Christina have something that you can't coach.
Wow.
With the talent you have. It was just so fortunate that I started with Devonta 6, 7, and 8. Then went on with the 9 and 10. I was blessed. I had Coach Larry Foster, like a big brother to me right here, to my right. He was coaching, he was the head coach at AV Westside. I ran over to Larry, I said, Coach, this is a special group, it's gonna be special. I say, but this kid, Devonta Smith, I say, man, he is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I say, wait till you see him. I went up to my big brother. He was the head coach at AV High School, Alden Foster. I say, man, I say, we have a kid out there with so much talent that you can't coach, you know, the skills that he had. And he was only 9 at the time.
Wow.
He took the MVP.
Wow. He been doing it.
He been doing it. He took the MVP. Came 10-year-old. He took the MVP.
Well, not to interrupt Coach Walker, when he first came up to me, when I got the job at Westside, we had a difficult first year. And he said, you just be patient, Coach. I have some boys coming that you're gonna be able to work with, not putting down on the guys that I had before because they worked real hard. We just didn't have much time.
Right.
But when he showed me this little big-eared kid, which I knew him already because his grandmother and my mother were friends and they worked together for years. And he showed me this little big-eared kid. I said, are you sure? And it just took a matter of time to get him in physical education, in PE. And I began to see how he took leadership in the PE class.
Yeah.
And he didn't do it by being loud. He didn't do it by being boisterous. He just took leadership. And that's what I love about him most. He led by example. He didn't have to be loud with you. He didn't have to push on you. He just had to be Devonta.
Right. That's awesome, man. I have so many stories that I have heard because really and truly, I didn't get a chance to see him until high school. I think in the 10th grade when they went to the Dome. I think they went to the Dome. He got hurt that year, right? Yeah. And but so that's when I moved back home and I started actually kind of taking notice of him. But one thing that I saw from him in high school, once I did get to know him, and even though he's family, I just didn't know him. I was in Baton Rouge for a while, but I got to notice that it's got certain players that are great, good, and then they have game changers. And I saw a young man that did not mind rising to the challenge. Like he didn't talk. I didn't see him talking. Now I'm surprised that some of the people on the inner circle know. They say he do talk. They say he talk on that sideline of his teammates if he think they're not bringing it. But as far as the outside, you would never really see him talking. But he did his talking on the football field. And I just remember so many times when the game was either on the line or you need a big play and everybody know number 6 gonna get it, whether it was a quick screen or a 50-50 ball in the end zone with a toe tap. Same stuff that he's doing right now. And I saw him do it all from 11th to 12th grade year. And I knew when he came back for that 12th grade year after they got, kicked out of the playoffs, in just a situation that we hate to remember, hate thinking about it with the Bugaloosa, because I feel that team would have went to the Dome too. Not sure if we was going to win it or not, but I felt we were going, and we had gotten hot. Matter of fact, it was quarterbacked by his son, Elijah Walker. We called him Trey. And so they came back in their senior year, and every time Amen needed something big to happen, and they had other players, don't get us wrong, but you always knew who was the GOAT. You knew who the GOAT was. He was the skinniest one out there, but believe it or not, he got a wiry frame. And if you've gotten a chance to watch him, he don't get hurt that much because he's not just bony, he's slender, but if he take his pads off, you see that he is cut and wired. Yeah. It's wiry. It's like a wiry frame. So he don't have a frame to add 25, 30 pounds, but he might add 5 or 10. But it's like I think that helps make him durable. Believe it or not, I think he only had one real injury in college, probably a couple nagging injuries, but I don't remember. But one real one, and that's his sophomore season. But moving on, we got to the Dome, senior year, against Lutcher. Great matchup. Yeah. It was a matchup outside the Dome before we even got on the field with Lutcher and their fan base and Amen and their fan base, because we both rock purple and gold. They got a rich tradition, and so does Amen. River Parish team that's always find themselves in the Dome, and as well as Amen. I think Amen has made 9 trips to the Superdome, come away with 5. It's 5 championships. A couple of them we left them now. I don't think it's about 1 or 2 years that we actually really truly was outclassed. The other years, I just think we just a play here and there, play there. We should have came home with probably two or three more. But in that Dome, man, he going up against John Trail Kirkland, from the quarterback from Lutcher. He a big name player, and they had a couple receivers, big linemen. Amen had our couple big name players. Devonta Lee at the time was a sophomore, junior. Yeah. We had Trey Walker, Elijah Walker, quarterbacking, Big Milton, Harold at running back. Had a lot of big name players. That game lived up to the billing. We lost that game 40-36 or something, 30. It was by 4 points. 4-point game. Could have went either way. But during that game, I saw a young man do everything you could do to help a team win. He ran a kickback, he got an interception, and he scored in the air off passing. And so from then on, we always knew, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to ask these fellas too. If you would have asked me what I saw from him going forward from high school, I already just said, I'm going to be honest too, I figured off top, big school, you knew it was going to be like Alabama, LSU, somewhere like that. Knew he would start at some point, didn't know how early, and figured he'd have a great career, but I could have never dreamed this career. I'm talking about freshman, only had 136 total yards, but he ended up with the biggest player of the year on the national championship stage. Come back as a sophomore, a go-to starter, 600-something yards, get injured, missed 4 or 5 games. junior year comeback, to me, top receiver on the team. I know they talked about Jerry Jeudy's and his route running, talked about Henry Ruggs and his speed, but the most complete receiver his junior year was Devonta. He had 1,200 something yards. I think he had 14 touchdowns. No, right? I think he had 14 touchdowns. Okay, this year blew him out of the water.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie. Before I get too deep into this year, I want to ask these guys. This is what I was my ceiling, and that's one good thing about a guy when you got it in your heart. Nobody can give you a ceiling. You create your own ceiling. And the reason why I'm saying is we never had a person from A-Mid to get drafted. We've had the talent, but it takes more than the talent. It takes the whole package. That means being focused in school, keep getting your grades, being able to stay away from being home instead of saying you're homesick, finishing school. Most of us, we had the talent, but we didn't do all the necessary steps that it takes to get you to that next level. So what I was saying was maybe this might be the first time A-Mid actually gets a guy drafted. I wouldn't even talk about first day. I'm just saying third round or something good enough. And it really would have been, because we've had a few people that touched the league, but it was the hard way. Yeah. Alan Ricard, Lester Ricard, Cletus Gordon, PJ Franklin. I know I'm gonna miss a couple. Aaron Moore. It's more than it's the Porter, Brad Porter. I think there's a few more, and I'm sorry if I forget y'all. If y'all know them, y'all just shout them out to me. But I thought third round is great. But man, when y'all saw him, and y'all got the chance to see him develop from the beginning to the end, what would you have predicted for him? What was your forecast on what his future looked like?
Well, like I said before, early on, this kid showed leadership qualities to an ability that no other kid did. He managed the class. He was a facilitator.
Right.
All I had to do was stand back.
Right.
But the type of young man he became on the field, you could not just imagine just what he would become and do, because he made everyone around him better by his actions.
Wow.
And the way he competed, and I'm gonna revert back to a situation that happened during his 8th grade year, if I'm right, Coach Walker,
8th grade year,
where he was not able to play. His mother called me the night before the game and said a championship game, and he was not able to play because he did something in the classroom. The teacher called on him out. And I said, well, Christina, you sure you don't want him to play? And she said, yes, he's not playing tomorrow night. I said, well, I have to go along with what you're saying, because I cannot teach academics first.
That's right.
And athletics second. And I think from that point on, I'm not going to say that was the defining moment in his career, but that next morning, we lost the championship game.
Wow. Wow.
And that next morning when he got off the bus, I told him, I said, we would have won that game if you had played.
Right.
And the look in his eyes, and when the tear fell, I felt a change in him.
Wow.
And his maturity level.
Right.
And it took off to me. It took off from them.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome, man. Just got a few comments that I want to read before we get further in. New Wave Vernon said, let's go Smitty. My cousin Antonio Baker said, number 6 is a living legend from our hometown. Bring it home.
Yeah.
That's real talk, Tonio. Chuck Hunt said, checking in from Monroe, Louisiana. I'm watching the Heisman Trophy ceremony. I watched Devonta Smith play twice in person at Alabama. And Chuck Hunt is one of the guys who always tune in to Real Talk. He's I think his mother or somebody used to teach out in Greensburg a long time ago, so he has roots here, so he keeps up with what's going on in A-Mid. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. But man, I want to get back to just how important this Heisman deal is, because I thought about that today, and I said it's one thing to get drafted high. We pretty much assume now we know he's gonna get drafted high.
Yeah.
So that's great. So just say he go anywhere, pick 5 through 10. That's great.
That's great.
And that'll always be remembered. But you know what? That Heisman, if he win a Heisman, that's bigger than that. That's bigger than that, man, because that don't happen, man. They got a lot of guys that win first round, but they ain't win no Heisman. They ain't win no Heisman, man, and that's like an honor for the state to grab hold to. That's an honor for A-Meek to grab a hold to. That's an honor for Tangible Parish to grab a hold to, and everybody played a part. Whether you was a fan who never said nothing, whether you was just somebody who nodded your head at him and said congratulations, whether you was somebody who always painted your face at the game, whatever you did. This is what we talk about. We talk about Amen Pride, Amen Community, a place of only about 5,000 people, but we love our team, we love our sports, we love our football, but we love each other. It's a village, man. It's like a small community village, so it's real, it's genuine. You're not gonna hear people on here just talking about Tay, just trying to latch on to him because he's making it. These are people who really did that. They did it when they didn't know what he was gonna be, but you have to believe in somebody. And so today I was talking about destiny. Do you know that when you born, man, you don't have a clue what's in front of you? All you know that you gotta just keep chopping it. Yeah. Every day, and as you mature, you chop into it, you chop into it, you chop into it, things start opening up for you. And then you start noticing that I kind of can see some light at the end of the tunnel. Then you start working a little hard, then you start competing against people that they say was great. And then you start noticing that they really can't do much with you. And then you go to saying, you know what I mean? I might be something special. Right. He don't have to say it, but you know he got it in it. He got it in it, man. He's a competitor, man. So I just want y'all to just understand how important and how historic this could be, because Louisiana has some great talent. Oh yeah. The Manning brothers, for instance, neither one of them won the Heisman. They got close. They was in the Final Four. They didn't win it. Marshall Faulk, do y'all know Marshall Faulk? Anybody heard of Marshall Faulk? Yeah. The Hall of Fame running back for the Rams, Carver Rams High School. He didn't win it. He was number 2 in the vote, but he did not win it. What about Jerry Stovall? He was great. He didn't win it. Doug Williams, believe it or not, I didn't realize Doug Williams actually was in the Final Four for the Heisman when he came out. All right. He did not win it. Charles Alexander, running back at LSU, he didn't win it, but he was close. So what I'm telling you is this is a short list, man. I told y'all at the beginning of the show, there's only been 2 Louisiana natives that mean born here. If you count just overall Louisiana ties, it's 3. That is the Conrad, what was his name? Let me tell you. John David Crow of Spring Hill, Billy Cannon, and then you say Joe Burrow from last year at LSU. But if you take Joe Burrow out, because he's from Ohio actually, it's really got a chance to beat just 3. Yep. And I'm telling you right now, 2 weeks ago, about a month ago, I kind of felt like this was great that they mentioned him, but it's far-fetched, it's hard. It's really a quarterback award. Believe it or not, I think probably 90% of the winners have been quarterbacks, and probably the rest of them be usually running backs. It's rare to get a receiver, man. I think Randy Moss didn't even get it. He was in the, he didn't get it though. And he got votes, but he didn't get it. So to be in that number, man, and it's a lot of things that played into that. Shortened season, people that they probably wanted to hand it to didn't get all their games in. You know, like Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, they didn't play full seasons. You know, that would have took up first 2 spots in the voting. The Florida quarterback, he came on, you know, out of nowhere, but he fell off at the end of the year. Then you had Matt Jones, Alabama's quarterback, and it's really out of them 2, really. That's what I feel. That's what it is. They don't really have a defensive player this year like a Chase Young that has made a name for himself that way. So technically, really, it's out of those 2, and it just depends on how you want to look at it. So to me, I got a feeling that they kind of want to do it this year for a non-quarterback. I kind of feel like if you ever was going to get it as a non-quarterback, it's this year.
Well, I think he's put up the numbers
you're right.
to assure that he should be.
Think he's going to get it.
If not, you would hate to say it this way, it would be a disgrace.
It'll be a disgrace.
Real talk. And I think that, go ahead.
I think this. Devonta Smith don't win Heisman this year. They should just start nominating quarterbacks and leave all other athletes out.
Call that another award.
It's just, it'll be ridiculous. He proved the world what he can do.
Right.
Like, I have these 2 trophies here. I've seen it. They was 9 and 10. And it was unbelievable. In Little League around A-Meet, it's a lot of bragging and talking.
Right.
I had an offensive coordinator, Marco Vernon. He's not able to be with us today. But if coaches get to talking, smack, we finna put 50 on you. I had to tell Marco, hold on, coach, just a little bit. Bag on, coach. But when you got players like Devonta Smith, Elijah Wall, Devontae Lee, I can go on and on. You don't want to leave nobody out. Wheat. Tyrus Wheat. He at Mississippi State right now. He caught a big interception in the bowl game. Look at the big fella run Wheat. It's just amazing. It's just amazing the talent was on that team and around. And then when you have a leader like a Devonta Smith, been a leader when he was 9 and 10. He stepped up. He always been a good, humble kid.
Right.
He never been disrespectful. He never been greedy about on the football team. He always just been humble.
Right.
He had the passion, wanted to win. The best is yet to come for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
You there?
I can go on and on and on. It's just. I told his dad when he was 9 and 10. Just wait and see. I seen him today. He say, man, you said that, Trey. It's just unbelievable.
Tell somebody that big cup going on.
I was very fortunate. I have this black here. Like I said, I was very fortunate to go be with them from when he first started putting the mouthpiece in his mouth. I went on with, like I said, with Larry to help him out at the west side. I kept the defensive stacks at AP High School with my big brother, and just to see him grow and getting better and better and better each week, each day. This ain't no surprise to me. Right. This ain't no surprise to me at all.
They as they try to figure out who call that is, y'all bad words, I hope y'all can still hear us good. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna talk over. Man, when you get an opportunity to win an award like this, it just won't never stop. They pull it off. We're gonna wait on it. I ain't never seen them get in the car and still don't stop. Anyway, they couldn't stop it anyway. It's all good. You gotta get that checked out. Get that checked out. And I get that, don't mess up the stick. It's all good.
Number 22.
Yeah, what it is.
Yeah, right up there at the top.
Top. Oh, I see it. Wow, man.
Big time.
Thank y'all. You know, we gonna work through that. You know, we work through that. Thank y'all for being patient with us, man. But Elder Sutton, the goat of 8 minutes. Real talk, man. You know, it's gonna always be arguments. People can argue. We do that in the barbecues and pre-game and tailgate and stuff. We don't do that. But what I will say, he's the most decorated of all time. No matter however you look at it. I know we had some super talented players, but he's the most decorated, and he was able to withstand the whole test of time to see himself to where he is. Yes, there's been a lot of talented players, but it takes more than the talent. One thing that I got in here that I want to segue into, it takes like a community, but when you get like a award like the Heisman, or possibly nominated as a Heisman candidate, that's kind of more than just like a Tay award, even though he's the one who's going to be the recipient of. That's like a family award, because talk about the sacrifices that it takes for a family to be able to have a guy, a child of theirs, be on a path that he's been on, where you know his mom and them following him to all the games. They there, his dad, his grandpa, his auntie. They go to all the games. They rooting for him. They've been doing this for 4 years straight. They sacrifice. You can imagine what it takes to sacrifice. But I want y'all to share, because y'all know about those parents that had kids that play ball with y'all, as y'all being the coaches of them. What kind of sacrifices do you guys think that it takes to get your kid to support him to get to a point that he is now?
Well, it takes a mentality where that parent has to be able to accept that this child is going to separate at some time, and when you have guided them to become a certain type of person, you put this type of determination in them, you put this will in them, and when they start toward that goal that you have set for them, and when they start to stray away from maybe some parents, you know, academics always first. Some parents want to see their kids excel at academics, but when they can do both, when they can excel at academics as well as athletics, they're going to begin to branch out into other individuals who will become more influential in their life, and they may have more control, a little more power than you on that level. And I think that's where parents have to let go sometimes and let their kids be coached, and not try to coach to coach.
That's what's up. That's real.
To coach their kids.
That's what's up.
Well, I can speak as a father. Devonta and Trey, my son, they the same age. They started playing together. They finished together, and it wasn't never hard to me as a father, traveling and doing what I gotta do.
You love it.
I love it. It wasn't never hard.
That's what's up, man.
You know, it was always easy, and it's still easy. You know, I can't wait till the season kick off now. Like I say, my son is at Grambling playing ball.
That's what's up. What's up?
And he gonna be leaving back out, and I'm ready to roll.
Ready to roll.
I'm ready to roll.
That's
First
what's
game
up.
will be in Texas. I said I don't care if it's in Chicago.
That's what's up.
We go roll.
That's what's up, man. That is awesome.
It's just
That
special.
is awesome. That's that kind of just goes along to let you know that these kids, every once in a while, they may not have that kind of support system, and you know you got to fight your way through. But when you have that, it just makes it so much better. I mean, Devonta has always been a member of Little Bethel Baptist Church.
Yes.
Mom and them go every Sunday, man. Still to this day.
Yes.
Every Sunday. Ain't nothing changed. They the same, man. It's my cousin, man. And I know her good. When she was a junior at Southern University, I was a freshman, and we used to ride home together. And so she just always been the same. I don't think it'll change nothing about them. I think it was easy for them too. Every week you will see her working all week long. When it's game time, she gone. All we know is we see her on Facebook, we see her on TV, and then by the time Monday, Tuesday, she back down here. And you got to give kudos to the family that help support that, because you just can't get there by yourself, man. It takes a lot. So I just think that he had a wonderful support system. Great coaches that still love him, still check on him, still follow up on him, still want to know what's going on, and I think that helps you no matter where you go. Yeah, no matter where you go, man. I think it's awesome. So we was talking about, you know, like I said, Montre was Pee Wee coach, and you know, as he talked about these big trophies, and he brought some memorabilia with Tay and them. This is real. So nobody ain't fake. This is not fake. This is what I call this real talk.
Yeah.
When you see this here, this means it's real. We're not playing. These dudes know him for real. So when they say something, they really saying it from a place of truth, and they doing it out of a place of love, but they being honest too. I mean, I think they tell the truth. If it was needed to be said, they would say it. So what I wanted to ask him while we still talking about the early years of him is what is one of your most fondest memories of Tay when he played with you?
Like I told you, man, he was about 8 or 9, man. He was an Angie. He made a catch. It was unbelievable. Left the Angie coaches like mouth like wide open, like.
Right.
Where y'all find him? Where this guy come from? And he was so small.
Right.
Hands this long. It was, oh man.
Wow.
Like I said, I say, son, do you know what you just done?
Right.
They was like, just caught the ball, coach. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
You know, it's like a catch he made against LSU.
Right. That's right.
You know, it made it. I didn't see it.
He can move his body. He do that.
I didn't see that. I was like,
you saw that already.
Oh man.
Right.
You know,
Right.
Oh,
That's what's up.
Man, it's unbelievable.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, we know football around here, so we ain't blowing no smoke. We're not blowing no smoke, and as we move along, and we're gonna do this because we're gonna have a couple more panelists come on, but we kind of let them move around and kind of see what's going on with the ceremony. And I hate that I'm not able to be inside, but trying to get ready for the set, I just had to miss that. But we got somebody out here keeping up with it on their tablet, and if we hear anything, we hear some hollering, we know what's happening. You know, we're gonna share that. And if y'all hear anything, y'all let us know too, live. But moving on to junior high, man, Coach Foster, you was already over there, and you knew who you was getting coming. You knew, everybody knows, because it's like a graduation from little league to junior high to high school. We know. So when you knew that class was coming with Tay and Trey and them, what kind of confidence did you have, and was you looking forward to coaching them? How was that?
I was looking forward to coaching them, but I was also looking forward to teaching them life lessons. I knew they had the talent. Wow. I knew their pedigree. Their mothers and fathers were athletes, and all of that. But one thing that I found out when I got there, they were lacking a work ethic.
Yeah, gotcha.
So teaching them a work ethic, and one thing that I taught Coach Walker and Devonta, that is, Coach, what we got to do to be great? I say, you have to do more than what I require you to do at the school.
That's right.
When you leave here, there's something else that you have to do to make yourself better.
That's right.
You just can't do what Coach says do and expect to become great.
That's right.
So along the way, it's with Coach Walker's son and several others, and Devonta. You can see them working on the weekend.
Yeah, on their own.
When practice is over, there's something extra that you do.
That's right.
I just can't go home saying that I'm the best.
Right.
Because in order to be great, you got to do great things.
That's right.
And to do great things, you got to go past how great you are.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
That's one thing I tried to instill in them.
That's what's up.
And I think they took that from me and took it to another level.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I know one thing, when I did get back on this end permanently, I know that I would see them at the parks all the time doing things outside of what Coach asked them to do. And what I learned when I was in high school, and I was a lineman. I was not a glamour position, but I played to the best of my ability because I come from a family that got great football players.
Yeah.
You know, Spears family, everybody knows them around here. But when I played, I just knew I had to live up to that. My grandpa was always at every practice. I got to show him that I'm out there and I'm giving all I got, because it won't end at practice if I go out there and get messed over in practice. I'm gonna have to deal with that at home as well. So my grandpa, everybody knows that back then practice was a big deal. Everybody had practice.
Yeah, it was real.
Joe Foster, I can remember even Mr. Raymond Brown sometime at practice. A lot of them old school at practice. But I remember my 11th grade year when I had finally kind of got it where, because in the 10th grade when Coach Career came, Donald Career, legendary 8-bit coach, 3-time state champion, he came to replace Gary Hendry in '92, I believe. And in '92, we switched our offense a little bit and got a little bit more open with the sweep and the spread concept a little bit. He brought that because before then we had been a power run team, option and stuff like that. But when Coach came, he brought us the speed sweep element, and we played off that for several years. And I think right now you'll see some of that going on in the league today, some of those concepts. But when Coach Career came, I remember I had an opportunity to start as a sophomore, and Roger Deemer was our quarterback. I'll play left tackle, and he made the lineman get foot to foot, no longer a foot apart. Foot to foot, when you don't have an end or running back chipping, it's hard to reach her outside the end, especially if he's fast and quick. We played Carver, and they had them 6'4" defense end that looked like they 200, a 180, run a 4.5, and I had to reach them. Roger is doing a sprint out left, and my job is to reach that end and hook him so Roger can get the cone. And that's a hard thing to do. I ended up giving up a couple sacks that game, and I got benched, and I didn't start no more that year. And I'm not gonna lie, that's one of the times when I looked at myself and I realized I wasn't ready. But the next 2 years, and all I'm saying is for us to get at one thing. It's just what they got through talking about you got to do extra. I realized that I didn't want to come to practice in the fall to get ready. You want to be ready when the fall comes so that you're able to learn what you're trying to do instead of trying to get through practice. See, if you're out of shape, you're just trying to make it through practice for the first couple of weeks. You ain't even really concentrating on what your job is. You're just trying to make it through. But if you come that in shape, practice, it's still hot. It's still Louisiana. It's still 98 degrees with 100 and something with the helmet on.
Now that you say that, it's one thing that I've always believed as a coach. If you come into fall practice and you have to run your kids real hard and you have to condition real hard, then your summer workouts didn't work out for you.
Yeah,
you have to come in ready. We don't have to run all these sprints, all these suicides, and these things during the season. If we have done what we were supposed to do over summer, all we have to do is called maintenance. All we have to do is maintain.
That's right. I know in the NFL, I heard, and this was shocking to me. You know, you hear somebody say they're head coach Sean Payton, and you just think about when you had a head coach in high school, they kind of dibbled and dabbled in a little bit of all aspects of the team. They might have had a focus, defense or offense, but they kind of talked a little to the special team. Maybe didn't run it, but they still kind of. So I never knew this, but I should have known, because these are the professional rankings. They said Sean Payton, they so limited in time that they don't come to practice at all to work on no fundamentals. Practice is all about installation. And if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, you got to figure that out with your position coaches, and y'all do that on your own time, not when I come out here to practice. So Sean Payton said when he come to practice, he come to practice to coach and install his plays.
You
in
don't
his concept.
study it,
He
right.
said he don't bring you out there to start getting in shape,
Or none of
to
that.
get your wind up. He ain't there to try to make sure you got your footwork and your technique
better be
down.
ready.
That's what a position coach is. And I said, wow, that is another level. That's a whole. But guess what though? That same work ethic that y'all just mentioned is the same work ethic why I knew Alabama wasn't gonna be too much for him. I mean he got to adapt to it, but I knew it wasn't gonna be too much. Go ahead.
Went to a camp over there.
Uh-huh.
He was in high school.
Right.
He got up one morning to go run with the team.
Wow.
Hold on now. This kid is in high school.
Right.
But he went to the camp.
Wow.
So they picked him that morning to come run with the team. Why he was running, hold on. Why he was running, Alabama got their players now.
Right.
He just a high school player.
Right. Right.
Why he leading every sprint?
Wow.
Run
Wow.
him in the ground.
Wow.
I said,
Wow.
no. I'm talking about, listen, he's in
High school, still in high school.
That morning they wanted a couple more athletes around the
Right.
state they had.
Right.
But Devonta Smith was running them in the ground.
Wow.
He set the tone then, man.
Wow, man.
He set the tone.
Always been in it, man.
He set the tone.
And I can say this, not taking nothing but giving. When he was in middle school, we would start out Wednesdays. Coach Walker knows it was only conditioning.
Right.
Conditioning alone, everything was running. It had to do with conditioning. And Top Foster, Carl Foster, would come and do a military workout. He would do a Marine workout.
Wow.
And Devonta was in the 7th grade. And he would kind of lag back and let the older guys get ahead of him a little bit. And I was jogging along with him, which I couldn't really keep up. I was trying. But I would tell him, I say, you a frontline soldier? Or you just somebody that want to order supplies?
That's what's up. Yeah. That's real. That's real.
And when I called him out on being a frontline soldier, it stuck with him. And he gradually got to the top and just like Coach Walker said, that's nothing new.
Right.
This kid has been, this young man has been doing it.
Well, guess what? I didn't want to steal this from Brandon Wagner, Coach Wagner, but he's coming back. He had to go run home, and when he come on, I guess he'll just jump in. But he told me one of the things that he wanted to say was, and the only reason I'm saying it now is because it's piggyback off what Larry just said. When he got to 9th grade, he had done changed it. They said in 9th grade, he went up to the front of the receiver line for the drills and the routes. And they said the thing that was surprising, it was surprising that he, small as he was, ran up to the front of the line. But the other thing that was surprising was that the seniors ain't say nothing to him. They say ain't nobody say nothing to him. They let him roll, man. They let him roll. And I thought that was awesome. That was awesome, man. That was awesome. Hey, so while we talking about football, but many people don't know that the one thing wasn't just no one sport, no one trick pony, no one sport athlete.
Not everybody was talking about basketball.
That's right. That's what I hear too.
Basketball. I said no.
Right.
It's football. Now you got to look at this. He's a better
Yeah. Right. You really that. He was cold. We saw it.
At one time this year, last year,
he didn't want it.
Yes!
You hear that holler?
Yes!
He must have won, y'all.
Yes!
There's a lot of screaming in there, man. He must have won, man. Y'all let.
Oh!
What y'all see, man? He won it?
Yeah, he won.
He won. Oh, man, unbelievable shit. Hey, we waiting on coaching them to come up. Look, y'all, look, we coming right back. We ain't gonna get off.
I have one thing to say.
We ain't gonna get off, though. We coming right back. We gonna go see something.
I have one thing to say before we get off. You off?
We ain't getting off. You good.
No, I'm talking about right now.
No, go ahead.
I have one thing to say, and I'm not going to put him on that, all the way on that level yet.
There we go, buddy.
But I've only seen 2 athletes like him with the mentality that he is developed, and that's Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant.
Whoa.
He has that killer instinct.
Yes, he do.
It
got
is
it, man.
yet to come.
Look, y'all, we not going. We're gonna go check on some of the celebrations. We coming right back. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. We ain't gonna get off.
I don't want to break that. I don't want to break that in my hands here.
We ain't getting off though. We just keep it like that.
What do you say? That's him? That's him? What do you say?
Yeah. I know it. Ain't that up? You got a few or something in there. He's coming. Randy, you got it, Randy. Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, you got
That's
it.
him. That's
He
him.
lives in the house.
Well spoken.
Who's this?
Oh, that's why I know it's gonna be.
Hello? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm at the Heisman thing, man. Let me call you back.
Amen, Louisiana, Tangible, Perry, y'all, we in here.
Yeah.
Tangible, whole Perry.
Representing the whole thing.
We'll get that championship. Congratulations,
Randy, you went and got your call. Randy,
Hey.
you went and got your call. Yeah, I got call. You could have stood it inside. Shit. Right there.
I would have loved to give it to him and Bob right there. Because that's really what I was trying to do. Get out of here.
Y'all see that? He just won the Heisman. Y'all see that? Sorry, y'all see that? Yeah.
He may feel a little bit different now. You know what I'm saying?
We get a trophy. We get a trophy. We get a trophy. We get 2 trophies. I wish they was in New York. I wish they was in New York. Boy, it'd be beautiful in New York. It'd be beautiful in New York. But you, hey, yo, which one did they count? The 430, the 430.
We gotta do 30 more minutes. 15, 20 more minutes since we know he won. Man, that's something, man.
That boy won the Heisman Trophy, right?
Man, he cut up now, man. Hey, I can't even go. I was trying to go in that team. They need to hurry up.
Wow, man. Goodness sakes. Unbelievable.
Man. Well, I mean, we hold on. Hold on. It'll sink in a minute, I guess. It's gonna take a minute.
Nah, you still need to
Yeah, buddy.
Huh?
Yeah, man. Man. Man.
It's one thing, though.
Oh, we're gonna be able to lose for a week. Look at that ball. That boy, they're gonna cut up.
Yeah, I know. Man, this is like amazing. Like this is like, I mean, we kind of, many people had kind of went on ahead and accepted the fact that they kind of thought it was a foregone conclusion. But to actually see it on TV, man, to actually watch all those people in the community center, to watch all those supporters of him, to watch him accept that award gracefully, just like he always do, man. He's just a wonderful role model, man, for a lot of these kids around here, man. Like, you can come from wherever you want to be from. You can't control where you come from, but you can control where you're going with the Lord, man. And it's just amazing, man, to see what happened, man. Like, I don't know, this ain't gonna really sink in, but I know a lot of people today that saw me kept saying they couldn't sleep last night. Because they was anticipating it, because this is a moment that really everybody gets to share. It's his award, but when I saw him hold the trophy, man, like okay, I saw him up there, I hadn't realized he won, I went inside, everybody was screaming, I knew he won, but I still was sitting there looking at it, like I couldn't believe what I was looking at, and then when I saw him hold the Heisman trophy, man, God, man, that's unbelievable, that is awesome. I don't know if y'all know what that's like, but what that says to generations to come, you know, all the old heads, you know, we die hard supporters. We gonna ride or die. But it's those kids that come from Butlertown and Hines Quarter, Benny Road, and Reeves Quarter, Luca and Roseland.
Yes.
It's those kids that really look like they don't weigh but 140 pounds and they 5'5" right now and they 13 years old and they look like they don't have a way out of where they are. And this is a wonderful example, man. It's a wonderful example, wonderful role model to follow. Stayed clean, never heard any trouble that he ever got into. Parents supporting to that, like that is very, very big, man. And I'm here because we had to broadcast this. We had to broadcast this. And we had to take a break to go in there and take part of what was going on.
Yes.
But it sunk in when I got a chance to go in there with all my A-Mix supporters, our Roll Tide supporters. It's really not Roll, it's Devonta Smith supporters. It's Devonta Smith supporters. It is absolutely unbelievable to be a part of this. It's absolutely unbelievable to be able to be here to broadcast to the people who are away, who can't be here because of the limited capacity due to COVID. But it still was a packed house. Everybody was practicing safe distances as best possible. Everybody did their safe practices as best as possible. But at the end of the day, sometimes you just want to pound somebody. Sometimes you just want to high five, and sometimes you just want to hug. And if you broke protocol tonight for that, it is all good. And that's real talk, for real. That's real talk, man. We're gonna stay on for a few minutes because we want the other coaches to come in since we know he won now, and we gotta let them share their side of it. We gotta let them share their story, how they feel about it. But it's wrapping up, man. It is awesome. It is awesome. It is awesome. Warrior pride, man. Warrior pride. Warrior pride. Warrior pride. That's what's up. You can walk. That's great, man. That's great. That's great. That's great, man.
Oh, yeah.
That's great. You was from the very beginning. That's awesome, man.
Y'all ready to go?
Yeah, we gotta let them share something, man. We got Coach Powell getting ready to come on set right quick. We gotta let them share something. Since we know he won now, we gotta let them share. See your mic over there? It's right there on the ground. Just flip it over.
I get like him and start
Oh
crying.
man, it's work to tell too, man. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
You had more. That was way back. They got Myron. They got.
Be proud of yourself, Coach.
The world knows.
Be proud of yourself.
It's kids, man.
Yeah.
And it's family.
See, the world might know him as Smitty, man. We know him as KT. We have Coach Powell. This is high school coach for the last 2 years. And Amen High School with the current Amen High School head football coach, state champ. Had a chance to coach Devonta his last 2 years, man. Coach, just talk to the people about. First of all, since we know the outcome now, we've already known that. just what was it like to coach him, and how did you see his future? Could it have been any better than this? Could you have seen it any better than this?
I'm gonna be honest with you, it's the hardest. You know, I was at a rival high school in North, and we used to play him, you know, JV wise. He was 9th, 10th grade. His son was the quarterback, taking receiver. I saw it then from the first time we played.
Right.
That this kid, he was gonna be special.
Right.
No matter what type of offense or defense, whatever he's in, because his work ethic is unreal. I'm gonna give you a quick story. They was playing for a state championship against Devonta. Tate had messed up his collarbone. After that game was over, we lost. After that game was over, that boy stayed out there by himself.
Right.
Watch. Watch. I was sitting in the stand.
Right.
This kid didn't know me.
Right.
None of them kids down there knew me.
Right.
I saw this little skinny kid.
Right.
Said I can't cry. He sat there and he cried.
Wow.
And I got a job. He said, we going to the north.
Wow.
We going to the north and we gonna win.
Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. And I know his junior year was interrupted briefly,
Right.
Unexpectedly,
Right.
because we don't know what would have been the outcome of that season, but we know they was pretty outside at that time. And I felt like really, whatever happened to Dome, we don't know, but we felt we definitely was going. We definitely going. For him to come back the next year, you got to start over, man. Like I always, as a player, you know, when I was a part of the team, we would have our season goals, you know, win district, you know, get in the playoff, win your first game, you know, back then, 4 games for your state championship game back then. So we already knew it's like a new season. Playoff is a new season in high school sports. It's a new season. 1 game at a time. But to get yourself ready again, to do that cycle all over again after. First of all, you not only got put out of the playoffs when you had to dominate the game, you already start the new season off with a loss already, and then you got to focus on coming back and avenging that. That's kind of in your mind. I think we had a slogan that year called "Unfinished Business." What was that like, getting them ready and getting him ready as a captain and a leader for the team?
It was easy because not only did Tay was leading us, Trey, Myron, all the things was leading. So, you know, Tay was a catalyst, but he didn't have to do it by himself.
Right.
And that's the reason why you see him so successful at Alabama these last couple of years. You know, he went there, you know, with some good other athletes, student athletes as well. And that's the reason why Alabama played the way that they play, because Tay don't have to do it by himself. But if he has to, you know, he can. And then when he does do it by himself, guess what that does to the rest of the team? Everybody else gonna come along with, you know. So in that sense, in that mindset, when we come into this season, you know, that whole mantra about unfinished business, it was no missed workout, it was no missed practices, it was no missed games. I could finish this season.
They won the championship game, but they better win. But the team down, say how they beat the first. They put 8 points on them boys.
Over the off season. After football practice,
They was going to work. They was going to work. You know, I'm just living witness because I was dropping them off and had to go pick them up. It was. My son was showing me a video today. Before I come here. It was dark. We was at the park. He said, "Daddy, you don't remember this?" He run this route. Cutting, and then you can hear me in the background. Hard work gonna pay off. Y'all just keep it up. And you know, I was so excited. It's gonna pay off. And me and my son was just laughing, and I say, "Man, look, it's paying off." You know, it's unbelievable.
And just to echo what he's saying, coming into the scene here, we have a hard camp. So the last day of camp, you know what I'm saying? We come back inside, all of them just sitting around. And none of them take their stuff off. None of them took their stuff off. I was like, practice is over with. Camp is over. Y'all can go home. Like, nah. We got another hour and a half. We got another 2 hours or something like that.
It's easy to coach.
We're back out. We're back out. You know, but I mean, it was just a work ethic. Then another thing that Tay was doing, he was coming home from Alabama. He was grabbing the climax. He was grabbing them. He was grabbing a can of Henderson. He was grabbing some of the let's go. You know, Trey was the same thing.
You can come and get you a piece if you want to.
That's how it is.
So, as a fan, I thought it was awesome, Coach. Those 2 years had to be a privilege. As a fan, you know, being a part of the program, around the program like I was, the alumni, seeing them day to day. Tay didn't say a lot he didn't waste a lot of words. Even on the night, very straightforward. Almost like not a big deal.
From high school, he's always been about business. Coach Kyle, what we got, how you gonna do it. And once we finish, you know, I'm extra. He's always been.
Having my Aunt Aura, diehard 88 Warrior fan and supporter, want her to get a chance to say something, because this segment right here, this is for the fans, man. I want y'all to be able to say something live, man, because this is going down in history. It's going to be uploaded to YouTube. It's already uploaded live to Facebook, and we're going to edit this, so whatever we do tonight, it's going to be on here. But thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. So I just want her, as a fan, to just give her perspective of how her feeling is about what she just witnessed. Go ahead.
I mean, speechless. I mean, it's amazing. Talent like me. And that's why I tell a lot of people, it does not matter when you come from places, live or wherever your circumstances, you can make a good decision or you can make a bad decision. He chose to make a good decision. Anybody can be a wide receiver, but he worked at it. He perfected it, and now he's a Heisman trainer, the highest thing you can get in college football. He has it right in factory street. Next to the park, you can't tell me what you cannot do. He's a prime example. It does not matter where you come from. You God first and everything you do. get your book. You know, anybody, I mean, you can be a good player, but if your grades aren't there, no college really will put that much into the person. But if you got the grades, you got the ambition to do good, and he did that. And I am so proud of him. It's just amazing, man. I mean, every time I think about the accomplishment he has it gives me chills. Every time I hear his name, I say his name. I really, really feel I'm so proud of him. I know I just, Amen really did something really nice for him.
Right, real good.
Parade, it does not matter. Hey, they would treat after the rotation, anything. Because he has really put Amen on the map. On the map. First time ever from an Amen high school to get a Heisman Trophy.
First of all, not just Amen. He's only the third Louisiana-born native to win the Heisman. The last one that was won was in 1959 by Billy Cannon of LSU. Yeah, Joe Burrow did win one, and we do count that because it's from Louisiana, but he's not from Louisiana. So when I say Louisiana born, that's what I mean. So Devonta Smith has put his name into the record book. Quentin, I gotta get you on here. You gotta come say something. You gotta come on here.
And he the first one to win
Get you a spot for a few minutes. You gotta share something.
I tell you a lot.
That's what's up.
Really working.
First non-quarterback, wide receiver, man.
Yes.
That's all.
And I'm so glad to be able to say something about him. His personality speaks to him. Glad about him. He's an awesome kid, awesome man. And I'm just proud.
Man, like I said, this segment right here, man, this is for.
You ready?
Yeah.
Look Coach Fowler.
He did his part. He went on left.
Off the Channel 9.
Yeah, y'all come on now. Right now, man, this segment right here, I'm allowing for some fans to come take part in this stuff. It's amazing. It's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity that was presented for him, and he snatched it. Man, he snatched it. So right now, man, I got my brother Quentin Coleman on side of me, man. I just want you to just share any story you want, just with your feelings, your overall feelings of you actually witnessed him winning the award.
Boy, don't hold back the tears, though, coach. Couldn't have happened to me. Couldn't have happened to me. Classmate, I got class 93 over there.
93 in the building, what's up?
Let y'all get that tonight.
Supporting our classmate, his mom, Christina.
I need it.
But I mean, the hard work, man, dedication, man, couldn't have happened to another kid. I remember when it, everybody used to talk about this basketball player. Coach, I still remember when he came over from 8th grade, man, and came over to high school. I thought Coach was playing it earlier, man. I was looking at that bean pole out there. But I still remember that lick he took me coming across that field when y'all scrimmage car, Coach. I don't know if you remember. I said, man, if that kid get up there, man, he can get up there. Just the hard dedication, man, he put into it, man. First kid I ever saw on that. Didn't even know what a ladder was. I didn't know what they was talking about. They said, T out there really hard, man, 8th grade. Couldn't have happened to a better kid. Couldn't have happened.
Man, I'm real, man. I expected it about a week ago. Before then, I really wasn't sure because I know it's really a non-quarterback. I mean, it's really a quarterback-driven award. I didn't do the percentage, but I guarantee you 90% of them have been quarterback. Probably the other 8 probably been running backs, and the other 2 is other positions. Because it's draft. And I always felt like they should kind of split it up, make that a quarterback award, and then do another one for best player. But with all that being said, I talked about really and truly how historic this moment is because Louisiana only had 3 Louisiana natives born in Louisiana that have won the Heisman. And that was John J. Crow of Spring Hill in 1957, attended Texas A&M, and then 1959 Billy Cannon. And since 59, we'll count Burrow, but he's not born in Louisiana. So after that, it's Devonta. So however many 41 plus 61 years have gone by since the Louisiana-born native has actually won the award, and he's right here, other town, right by the high school, grew up here all this life. Share your feelings and sentiment right now. You in the hole, what?
gonna put this on the table.
Christina got a son. Real. So he you know, and for him to feel everything, like I said, when you come to the west side, we all know we don't wear those shoes. You come to the west side, you scared it. I don't know what when he goes back here. He come on the hill and he got it in front of him. And, you know, when I'm looking at the KK now, I'm like, I'm gonna let that first go first. Oh, he's straight. He's straight. And we go back to that moment against he took two against Cole. And he got up from him.
I remember it.
And when he got up from that, I said, yeah, you're gonna be all right. And guess what? Later on in that same scrimmage, he scored a touchdown against Cole. The next year he caught for 3 touchdowns. We ain't talking about anybody, we talking about that in the car. You know what I'm saying?
Speed and all of them guys in that team. I remember that
And you
kid.
talk about how special a kid is, but he gonna always play with a chip on his shoulder because everybody told him, like he said in his speech, you ain't never, you're not big enough. You know, people, oh, you're not fast enough. You know, you don't look the part. But guess what? He just kept moving. He kept doing what he'd been doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, he kept doing what he'd been doing. Everything took everybody else longer to see it. But they knew, already knew. You know, we see our superstars when they look. You know what I'm saying? You know, and so, I mean, it's just a great moment, great time.
You know what I found to be very ironic though? Great. Okay, so he just catapulted his career tonight with a Heisman.
And then long.
He could get picked number 5 in the draft, either below or a little bit higher. That is going to be monumental because we was always, in my mind, I was like, maybe this is going to be the time we're going to finally get a guy drafted. But you know, he surpassed that by a long shot. Okay, so let's move on from that. So I kind of had a ceiling in my brain about what I thought he would be. He's going to a big program, going to start at some point, and probably going to be 3rd round because he's small, you know that. But man, when I think about that's what we have as a ceiling, and we'd have been happy with that. But guess what? He proved that whatever people think, that's not his expectation for himself. Even by coming back his senior year, when everybody thought around here he should have been satisfied with leaving last year. No, I'm real talk. So this is Coach Gardner. This is his dog, man. This is his coach's defensive coach, and he really is the guard to the Martin Garden. So I'm gonna let him give you a little bit of, because I know he ready. He ready. I'm gonna let him jump in, man. I'm gonna let him jump in that thing.
To be totally honest, ain't nobody else felt that way. It's the kind of stuff that you talk about to him, but you don't talk about nobody else. You can't let everybody know what you think. You can't let them know what you're doing, the kind of work you're putting in, because people are laughing. People say, you thinking too high, you dreaming too high. You know what I'm saying? For that guy, junior year, to be around them studs, you know what I'm saying? 2 first-round picks. You know, he could have won. Right. But when he committed to Alabama, he said, I'm going there to get an education. You know what I'm saying? Football said, I'm going to take care of my own. You know, so to go there, you know, when everybody say jump off, you know, I got somebody out to push me. It's unfinished business. Right. And it's unfinished business in 2 ways now, because he came back, his stockings went up. Not only that, he's trying to win another national championship. So, and honestly, the whole Heisman thing, I still don't know how to feel. Like I've never felt so like I'm happy, I'm excited, but my emotions is in some other place. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm feeling. You know,
all the bottling up.
Like I said, it's a real deal. It just happened.
Not everybody. Now y'all keep up with me, even if you're not.
To go on that, on his coming back.
Yeah.
You know, and to be honest with you, you know, I told Vincent, I said, what's going on? People calling me, man, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, but he said these words. He said, man, he prayed about it, and he's done. He's coming back. And look what God did for him. Look what God did. You know, took it together. When he put it in, and I put it on.
Right,
you know,
you was all right then.
Yeah.
All right, I got
hey, these gloves right here, they call them touchdowns. You know
that's them, man. Show the glove, man. Show the glove.
These gloves that cost them touchdowns. You know, this is a limited edition. You know what I'm saying? I got stuff at the house I show on Facebook. I ain't gotta get them signed. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. They been signed in love and working hard work.
Man, listen, this is what I didn't understand. Y'all help me with this. Everybody watched him his whole career. We knew they thought highly of him because they got him and they went after him heavily. But when he got there, we knew what he was competing against on his own team. But it seems like they always, and when I say they, this might not be Alabama more than it is just the outlet media, but they always kept having people in their mind in front of them, overshadowing. Right. Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs. Wow. Even his junior year, in my mind, for real, I thought he was the most complete receiver on the team. Now, they might have said that Jeudy was more of a technical route runner. They might have said that Ruggs had more long speed, but I thought he was the best receiver on their team. But they didn't feel that way, the media experts did. And
it's a reason.
Go ahead.
I just told Chung it's a reason his freshman year, he was on the opposite side of Rick.
That's right.
It wasn't Ruggs, it wasn't Jeudy. Coach Sagan, who put in most, Mika Fitzpatrick say, the person that he hated to go against most, that's going to give you the business and trying to do you something every time, was Devonta Smith as a freshman. Wow. So it's the reason he was in the Mississippi State game to catch the winning touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else probably didn't see it, but he stayed on the field more than those other guys. Not to take around.
So his last year, we knew coming back, we knew that he was going to be, nobody ever thought that he'd be less than the top 2 or 3 receivers this year. Everybody just figured that now. So when he went into the year, though, you know, publication still was always promoting Waddle. I know Waddle got some explosiveness about him, but that's just what they wanted to put. Even up until probably 3 weeks ago, they still had Waddle very, very close to him in pre-draft mocks. So I heard in a CBS, I think CBS did an interview on Devonta a couple of weeks or 2 ago, and he said that when Waddle went down, he went to the coach's office on his own and said, "Coach, put it on me." So to me, without him saying that, I imagine they was going to do it. But why do you think that it took Waddle to go down for them to actually see what everybody else see? Or maybe not Alabama. Alabama might have known already. It ain't them.
Tay had 38 receptions and Waddle had big yards.
Right.
They knew, but like for everybody else to see, like you said.
I mean, as a coach, and recruiter, you putting all these 4 and 5 stars together. Right. You know what I'm saying? And they already have a big following when they come to your school. Right. I want to say Jeudy was top 5. You know what I'm saying? Ruggs, whatever he was. You know what I mean? So you got Tua, you got Najee Harris. You put all these guys, Leatherwood, in the same class. So they're gonna have their own following. And one thing, it just goes back to when he committed to Alabama. When everybody was asking him why Bama, based on what you said, all the talent, it was a simple. I can control my playing time. Right. It's my reps. The way college work is simple. You make the play, you play. Wow. You know what I'm saying? In practice, you know what I'm saying? When they would go around and say, well, who's the guy that you want to make the catch? It was Devonta Smith. You know what I'm saying? So, and he proved it in clutch moments, like Coach was alluding to, Mississippi State. In the national championship game. And he not just open, he open. You know what I'm saying? Because he does everything the right way.
You know what? This year, everybody's seeing Mac Jones and they connection. Right. Well, Tua and Hurts was with the Warriors. Yeah. When Tate went down, he started off with the scout team. Guess who was throwing them the ball? Yeah, that's Mac Jones. That's right. So they've been had a connection. And at the end of last year, I was like, Tate, who can be? He said Mac Jones, my boy. When everybody was talking about Bryce Young, he said Mac Jones because they developed when he was going against Lincoln and all them. Mac Jones was his scout team quarterback. That's how Tate got on the field, and now they've been had a connection. So it's proven now.
And if you look at this, I don't know if you covered this already. You know what I'm saying? And this is I'm all about film and what I see. I'm gonna say this for all the Louisiana people. You know what I'm saying? I'm a GM. There's no question when I'm picking first out of wide receiver. I know you're an LSU guy, I understand. But I've watched Devonta Smith run every route in the route tree. If I put on film of the other guy, I'm seeing straight balls. I'm seeing plays. I'm seeing him muscle people. And in the NFL, that's cool. But they ain't gonna keep you playing for a long time. You know what I'm saying? He does everything that you ask him to do. I'm watching how Sarkisian move him around. You know what I'm saying? It's things that you see on the next level. So I'm happy that not only is he getting the opportunity to shine, but not when you put a pack in front of his face, he's still just selling team. How can a GM pass that up? You know what I'm saying? How can you pass up somebody that's polished? I can't wait till he get his suit contract.
Right.
His line of clothes. I don't know if it's gonna be able to fit me.
Right.
But he didn't want it. Because he's been meticulous in everything that he's done. It wasn't I'm not going to LSU because I don't want to go.
Right.
I'm not going to LSU because their offense don't fit me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it was. Right. You know. So now we got a situation where everybody don't want to go to camp. You know what I'm saying? I mean, last time I checked, if you check schools in Baton Rouge, University High, they got more people going all over the state. But when it's somebody like this, it's we just supposed to be running on the job and to keep it powerful because this is real talk. You didn't want him in the beginning. You saw everybody. He was the girl that got fined and she graduated. You know? That's what it was. And she was like, I see what I said. I want to get with you.
And I told him that he was a freshman. And he looked I said, Frank, guess what? One day you're going to beg for kids, man. You're going down to beat them. But at the same time, going back to the GM, you also got a kid that even if it ain't his turn early, he's still going to be the best blocker. He's still going to be excited, just excited to block for his running back or fellow receiver on the touchdown as he is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what you look at.
I know a lot of people kind of losing what they're saying about top receiver, who you gonna pick first. Honestly, everybody know I'm LSU fan. That's what it is. I'm not gonna change that. But I am a Devonta Smith. That's off top. I'm a Devonta Smith fan, but I'm a LSU football fan.
I mean, I don't understand.
I don't know what balance means to
you. It means that it's equality. Well, I mean, I'm very smart now. Is it equal? So you really ain't going to Devonta?
I'm a Devonta, but I'm not no Roll Tide fan. I'm not going to lie. It's very popular. Like, I mean, because the offense that he didn't want to go to, they changed.
Who's quarterback this year?
I'm just saying, a lot of stuff got to happen.
He got a podcast. He got a podcast or what? What you got, Cuz podcast? Okay. Well, y'all got to get it. You got to send it to me.
All right, it's on Facebook
Real
right
talk.
now.
Facebook.
Yeah. It's on Facebook right now.
Oh, real talk. Okay, I got you, Cuz. We'll see you later.
See y'all.
Thank y'all.
All right.
All right. That's it. Real talk.
Appreciate it, boy. I'm going to go.
Every chance he has to this is the job. We go up there, they don't treat us like that. They treat us like we not take any kid.
Right.
They treat kids. So, no, I wonder about before Tay went there. The way they was treating our kids, you know what I'm saying? Man, I just said you had to become one.
And see, some of that stuff I don't know. I've never been on the inner circle, so going to the camp, visiting places, how they train kids and all that. I don't know. I'm going on straight up just how I grew up, and I don't change nobody just because we got a player there. We got a player at Mississippi State, and I'm not a Mississippi State fan. What I am is I'm an A-Mid Warrior fan. Wherever they go, I want to be the best player.
Going back to the LSU. Like the first half, who was your cheerleader?
We talking about in the LSU game? I'm gonna tell you just how it always was. I always want LSU to win. Every time they play down, I want to take the ball. That's been day one. Anybody know me, that's what I always want. If we get 180 yards, but LSU win the game, we go for it. That's how I be feeling like the year before. So that was perfect last year. Now this year, he got it killed. It ain't working at all. But that's just me being a fan because them players only gonna be here for 2 or 3 years. At the end of the day, right, they only gonna be there for 3 years.
So be careful. Everybody know the game.
Right, that's right.
I want you to vote.
Right.
We can beat you.
Right, that's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. But you know, now this might not be no fact of person, but y'all know football like I do. But I say this. Whoever you pick first, when the receivers start coming up the board, they come behind. So when they get in the league, it's just all about it's a lot of things gotta go with that. Who they on the team with, who they quarterback. But I just saying like this. You can argue somebody, share right hand board, slip a green, something like that. And to me, and I might be wrong on this, but y'all might say that y'all feel not no great comparison, but if I compare it to somebody in the NFL today, he seems more like a Richie, but he might be better. I don't know if he's better or not. No, he's doing it. Right.
I did not know Michael Tucker's AJ Green. AJ Green don't look like he's in this last season.
He reminds me of him, man. I ain't never seen him before. What's up, man? I ain't never seen him. What it is? My man don't want to hide. I ain't never seen nobody no more. I'm coming third verse. Coach Warren will. Coach Warren wants to win the game right now. Coach Warren wants to be better at practice. Coach Warren will win third verse.
So, man, look, like I said, real talk, straight up. Whenever he gets elected, man, I'm pretty sure everybody in there, whether it's your team or not, you gonna get that jersey. Some of y'all gonna wear it, some of y'all gonna hang it up, some of y'all gonna put it in the frame. But that's my division. And but bigger than just that, not only the things that he gonna do for himself, and I do believe he's gonna have a great career in the NFL. I don't think he's gonna be satisfied because he's in the NFL. I think he's gonna try to be the best he can be there. But more than anything, he said something when he was on stage tonight that really is what kind of encapsulates all what we're talking about. He said for the kids don't nobody believe in, too small, and might not be fast enough, ain't strong enough, and all that. He said that, and I don't know if he even was thinking of himself as a role model, but if he didn't, he is. Because from around here, he is one now. Because people know now I can come from Heinz Quarter with some things lined up, proper people in place. I can make something of myself if I got a talent. And it might not be in football, it might be in something else in life, but that Heisman means more than football stuff to me. It means more than stats to me. It means something that it don't matter where you come from. God first, work ethic, right people in place, you can prepare yourself to greatness. And that's when I was looking at. I missed most of the ceremony. I missed most of the in the building aspect of tonight. But the last little bit when I heard the screaming, we had to pause the show for a minute and go in there. And the part that really got me, I saw him up there. I still couldn't kind of believe it. I don't know what to think. But when I keep looking around and I know the stuff that said ESPN, you know, Channel 4, WL. They down here for real for a reason. And what I noticed was when he spoke, he don't look that surprised, and he don't look that braggadocious about it either. He's humble like he's always been. It's a bit. Now I don't know what he do. Like, can you kind of share some? Like, what is he like?
That's my point. Like, he's mastered who he wants to be. Yeah. There's no alter ego. Right. It's all a part of him. He just mastered. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's mastered it from day one. Right. When we get on this field, I've heard Devonta tell his teammates, if you're not gonna block, get out the way. Right. When you put a person like that, a bunch of other people, a bunch of other dogs, the cream always gonna rise to the top, bro. I mean, it's just a matter of time for that rub off on somebody else. Right. You talk about the cameras that's here. You know what I'm saying? They don't make people like that every day. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Boy broke his collarbone. Right. He came back, lit it up. Everybody that when he played on the field with Devin White as a junior, he was the best player on the field. When he played against Patrick Queen as a junior, he was the best player on the field. It's those type of things that we all know. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, if you talk to the kids, I call them after every game. I'm gonna call them later on tonight. It's real simple. Son, I'm proud of you. I love you. Let's go win this match. Tell me about them hands. They sweet. Tell me about them feet. They sweet. If they ain't mad, it don't even matter what you get in now. They find a way to get him to one-on-one, and the safety ain't got a chance. You know, because he's mastered the art of running routes. You say, well, he reminds me. I've never seen a kid in college produce the way he's been producing. We talk about water going down, but what you think? I'm a defense coordinator. I watch it. What you think I'm trying to do? I'm trying to stop number 6. Make number 8 make a play.
That's the whole wrong like the loss of.
How is he still?
I was the first person to teach him to run around.
It ain't no secret, bro. He got 3 touchdowns against this team. 3 against that team. 183, 200 yards. When he get to play you lose your mind because you're trying to figure out.
Your first move is your best move.
You know what I'm saying? So when you go into a game
I
like
can take you inside, I can take you outside.
You throw him a ball. He house. You know what I'm saying?
He just took it at that.
Design this kid, man. So
your first move is your best move.
kids
I can take you inside,
whatever
take
you
you
come up
outside.
with.
I come straight up.
Because
Either way, it's according to whichever way you play me, that's how I'm on.
What makes him special is the fact that he played defense for 2 years, 2.5 years. He played defense.
And that's what makes him play long too.
I'm talking about for me.
Jazz Ferguson, we talk about on the field. Jazz Ferguson, who's an LSU signing, 6'4", he's a freshman over at West Louisiana. We're going to try this freshman. He's strongly freshman. That's what he do. He pick. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm watching it. I'm watching it. And it's a situation where I got a simple rule. Coach Foster don't know this, but if you mess up one play, you know this. You mess up one play, you done. Every play. You're not going back there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a situation where your last play might be your last play. He will mess up. He'll come tell me, Coach, I got you. Next series is a flip. In practice, he would say, if I pull him out, Coach, I'm coming right back. He understood the game of football. You know what I'm saying? So when you put him in a, Coach always alludes to, you put him in a car. That don't mean nothing. You know, he wants to snap. You knock him on his foot. Do it against LSU. LSU game. All that dude is, he like that cut.
I don't remember that when he went to one of the San Antonio little prep things.
But dude,
he just held right up.
Hey, all of you guys that's watching this, so I need you to do. I need you to go to YouTube, look up U.S. All-American game, right? Scroll to the last part of it. It's Richard LeCoeur, number 2 for Georgia, University of Georgia. He takes Tay and just push him out of bounds. Okay, Tay like you about to stop, right? Because you know he takes him and push him all the way over the bench. When I saw Tay the next week in school, because that's what I'm talking about, he's mature. I'm like, Tay, what? That ain't you. Why you ain't doing that? He said, Coach, I ain't trying to get involved in that kind of stuff. All right, great. They played Georgia this year. Around 6 minutes left in the game. I want y'all to go see this. Tay gets a little bubble. He sees Richard LeCoeur. He sprint to the side to the guys. He run. Bro, did he remember? He hit the dude so hard. Now this is good old tape. He hit the dude so hard the dude fell on his back, rolled over. And when he got up, he ran out because he was taking people on the top trash to him. It's the 6 minute mark of the University of Georgia game. You look on YouTube. The kid, man, he makes your job easy but hard at the same time because he makes you reflect. I gotta go find some more stuff. You know what I'm saying? Coach Davis is gone. Coach Foster. When Coach Davis came, I was DC. I was DC first week. You know, next year, Coach Davis is DC. I ain't do nothing wrong. Right? You know, since we on real talk, you know, since we on real talk. So he makes me the wide receiver coach. I don't know what he's doing at the point, you know what I'm saying, but he makes me wide receiver coach. Every day at practice, I'm trying to kill the people. I'm trying to embarrass. Only because the way we do things, because Coach Davis made me too. Everybody trying to kill. We playing through these kids. So when I recognize what I had to say, it's over with. It's over with. You know, and it's just, we had no background, bro, nobody. They hit him in we played against Northwestern. For halftime, he's running the street. They hit him. It's a pass interference. He got up. I can't say what he said. Right. You know what I mean? But it's like, switch. Right. They flip. In the second half, Northwestern moving way up there.
Oh, no, I thought you said Northwestern.
Northwestern.
I ain't missed that.
Moving way up there.
I got a question. From a historical perspective, y'all coach a lot of players all throughout this parish and even in St. Helena. Y'all have seen a lot of talent come through and played on teams in high school with a lot of talent. What are the ingredients that help catapult Devonta to where he's at that possibly was missed by some of the other players that had the same or more? And what do you think the ingredient that they lacked that he had that they take him over the top to get to where he's at and other ones that had to fall by the wayside?
The thing is, he listen. Yeah. He ain't gonna say much. He gonna take what you tell him. Cause I never forget. I sit them all down. I sit all my groups down. This is the core class. Yeah. This is what you need take it out the ACT. Okay. You need to make A's and B's in these classes. You English, math, science, social. Do it every year. Have coaches in there. Hey, check that course, check it out. And that was one of my secrets of never playing those schools. But guess what, Tate did? He took it. He came in, he was, average student, coming out of West Side. But he got the A's and B's in all the 4 classes. So he ended up with like a 3.5 core. Made a 16, he never could pass the ACT. He made a 16. But guess what? He took what I think and ran with it, and his core was so high, he didn't have to pass the ACT. So those little things, when he go to those camps, when they put, I never did, I took him to the Rivals camp. His first one in Hattiesburg. He was this big. After his freshman year, but he was playing basketball. So he couldn't lift like he wanted. They was pushing him around. He told me that day. They're like, look, man, he said, hey, coach, I got it. He said, coach, be in that iron. Ever since then, like they say, I'm the trouble night, the rest is history. So that's the difference. He's going to take the little thing, whatever somebody tell him. Even if he know it, he gonna be like, yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna lay back, But now we know. I mean, I read a quote Coach Gordon said. He has the humbleness of a humble little child. But he has the killer instinct of a MJ or a coach. Because he's trying to do you something every time. All the time. And ain't taking no plays off. That's right. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what kind of.
Man, Coach Foster, we've seen a lot of talent come through here. We play with a lot of talent. I played with Coach Foster my freshman year. I've seen the talent. I've never seen anybody put the work ethic with talent. I've never seen. I didn't know what the hell these kids was talking about when they say Tay running the ladder. What ladder is he running, bro? And I'm not that far behind. I don't care if it was basketball. He was out in the park by himself. I've never seen anybody put the work ethic with the talent. He had the perfect mix. That's right. And not that some kids don't work behind the scenes. He did it for himself. He didn't do it for not to be seen. Wasn't nobody videoing him. Wasn't nothing. I've never seen anybody put the work, put the time in, and that matched the talent. We've had the talent. That's what's up. He had the perfect mix.
If you, go ahead, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Being that I'm from AME, I played, I coached, I don't have the perspective of a normal fan. You know what I'm saying? You behind the scenes, you see everything. When you speak of certain things about football, I'm just gonna be point blank. Some guys that play football don't understand. Even here in AME High School, you know what I'm saying? But they want to say, well, this was this and this was that. You can't put a Coach Powell team next to a Coach Foster team. You can't put a Coach Foster team next to a Coach Powell team. I've been there for all of them. It's how things are getting done. It's the scheme. It's all other stuff. Well, you mean to tell me that Coach Career doing the same thing he was doing then? I'm going there. They came back to what Coach Foster was doing 3 years, 4 years later. What Coach Powell was doing, you got to evolve. You know what I'm saying? So when you see the evolution of players, you know what I'm saying? We have some of the players talking about up, you know, like as a kid, like, you go to the fight, you classic. I know that, man. You know what I'm saying? You didn't see it. You know, they let him run the ball big as he is. You know, so, you know, a Michael Carr, your uncle, a Curtis Spears, we go on and on, you know what I'm saying? But to see someone
need a plate? Oh, yes, man.
Do what he's doing as consistently and he's going to the next level. Because you have a lot of people that will hate them. You have a lot of people that say, it ain't going to translate. It ain't going to translate. But a boy, you know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that you do as a kid in the yard when you score a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff that's just dream stuff. So for him to do that, you know, he's the type of kid that when I feel like I'm not doing a good job, I look to him. I had a headache. You know what I'm saying? When the people on Facebook, the coaches can't coach. I got me a Heisman trophy with him. You know what I'm saying? He can't do what he's doing. That's where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me what I can't do, Devonta Smith. That's what I do late at night. But when Friday nights are bad, I go turn the TV on. I want to look at Alabama. That's me up there. That's you up there. That's Amy. That's us. You know what I'm saying? But I don't expect nobody to understand it if you ain't from here. I don't expect you to understand it in Independence and Hammond and Ponchatoula. Even the Kentwood, as much sex they have, they don't do things the way we do it here. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, You know what I'm saying? It's Coach Gordon from here on out. If you want to talk to me, I'm talking back to you. Coach Gordon. I got a Heisman Trophy winner. Real talk. I ain't trying to be ugly. It took me forever to get one of them. I can't do it. He did it. He did it for all of us. So at the end of the day, or whatnot, we got stuff that nobody in Louisiana can say. You can hate on Amen if you want to. What they got going on down there, we got a Heisman Trophy winner.
That's what's up, man. Man, listen, you know, a few more minutes. We ain't gonna be on much longer. I know we've been on it long, but it's been worthwhile. It's been worth it. We had the pre-announcement aspect. Now we have the post-announcement aspect. But this is something that I want you guys to all answer because either you coached them or you've been at all the games. So, real quick, if you could think of something off the top of your head, what is the fondest memory or most memorable thing you remember about Tay Tay? It could be on the field, it could be in the classroom, it could be at practice. It don't matter, but just anything that comes to your mind immediately when I ask that question. And we can start. Any one of y'all can take that, and y'all can each one of them think about that while the other ones answer. Fondest memory or most memorable moment.
I shared it earlier tonight. I'll never forget it. Senior year, October, in the middle of the season, we have the U.S. All-American jersey. They're giving it to them. We're doing this event. It's 7th hour when they're doing it. We have a first-year principal. You know, this was the first assembly that we had that year, so we really didn't know how he was going to do it. So it's 7 hour. I got a class. Intercom say seniors report to the auditorium. I'm waiting for that junior, sophomore to report to the auditorium. It never happens, right? So bell ring. It's time to go home. I know the event didn't happen. I'm mad. I'm upset. I don't want to talk to Coach. I don't want to talk to nobody. That's how I'm drove. I'm supposed to be there. As I'm walking down the steps, now bro, it's 2:41, 7th hour. As I'm walking down the steps, Devonta Smith is coming up the steps. Where you at, Coach? I couldn't come. I didn't throw nobody under the bus. I just didn't come. I had a class. Well, man, I wanted you to be there. Well, son, you know I love you, such and such and such. Now, bro, this dude just got to do on ESPN, lights in his face, and he coming to find me. When I went to my car, I cried like a baby. I'm in the car snotting, bro. Because when a kid gives you back all that you give him, and not just that one kid, all the kids that you give, people don't understand coaching. You're trying to make, I feel like I was a pretty good player. I'm trying to make them twice as better than me, 3 times as better. I'm giving them everything I can give them. So when he gave it back, I ain't Jesus, but it reminded me of the 10 lepers, and one of them came back and said, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, ever since then, the boy, he got me here. You know what I'm saying? It ain't one of the situations where, you know what I'm saying, you got to ask me about a relationship. Wherever he go, I'm going. If he go to Bama, you see where I'm at. You see where I'm at. If he go to the Cowboys, as much as I hate the Cowboys, Trey, cowboy hat, cowboy boot, I'm rolling.
I'm going to get the jersey.
Man.
Yeah. That's what I'm going to do. And we're going to stop right there. I'm going to get the jersey. I'm going to represent him and all, but that's it. I'm going to do what I did.
You got to wear it on Sundays, bud. You got to wear it every Sunday.
I'm a steal. Because I want you to do good.
Right. That's right. Man, listen. Man, anybody? If somebody else has something, you have something?
I ain't got much. We can talk about his games all day. My fondest moment of T Kaplan, I don't even know what year it is. He takes over the Kaplan game. I'm hoarse when I leave there. We needed it. Kaplan was finna
score. They was finna score. Turnover. Byron is running the punt. He fumbles it. They're about to score on us. Tay grabs the running back. He dragging Tay about 10 yards. Tay is doing this the whole time.
That's right.
The end zone is right here. He strips the ball. He pulls. I mean, he didn't carry them 10 yards. This is do or die.
My fondest memory.
We score. Game over. They score game over.
I like the hitch. I like the hitch. That's killed.
Hey, he took it to the house. Game,
yeah, I'm talking about that hitch you got. I mean, that stand up.
Yes. That's our way.
That's our way.
That's our way.
That's it. It's only you go.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Coach.
I mean, it's 2 things that stands out here that tells the type of kid he is, the type of teammate he is, and just the athletic ability. I never forget, we were in Walker. We were in Walker past him, and you know, we go far. We got 4 people on this side. These people still put 2 or 3 people over here on tape. I said, man, you really gonna do that in the game? I said, all right, Tay. I said, all right, Tay. I said, we finna throw the fade. You remember that, Coach? I said, we finna throw the fade. Tay, Mo stay behind.
Right.
No.
Something like that.
And guess what? Over threw it up. Tay went up, and he caught it on 3 of them, and looked down at him. came down.
Wow.
You know, and later on that year with the collarbone, when he broke his collarbone, man, just show you the type of kid he is and how he just loved his teammates. He was he had surgery that morning.
Right.
We playing LaRon for the district championship. I'm getting ready to talk. Let's go talk about tears. I'm getting ready to do my pregame speech. You know, in the visitors' end zone in LaRon, you can see the visitors people coming in. I look up, he coming through, had surgery that morning.
Yeah, right.
With it on his shoulder. And he got his shoulder wrapped up. And when he came, I said, boy, what you doing here?
Wow.
I'm crying.
Wow.
And you know what he said? I gotta go support y'all truth.
Wow.
That's the type of kid he is.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
I got one more.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We about to play the state championship game. All right. So you remember this? We about to play the state championship game. He can't walk tonight.
Right.
He in the hospital. He's trying to get something for his foot. Is he gonna be? You remember that? If he